Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Beatrice and I'm the owner at Slideshow, a presentation design agency based in Sydney. In today's video, I would like to give you my top 4 tips of things to consider when creating a template. So not the actual presentation itself, but the template. We all know that templates are like the foundations of your presentation, and they provide all the important ingredients that you need to create that presentation. So the template contains all your colors, so preset color palette, preset fonts, it has your footers, your headers, it's got placeholders for text, design cues as well, and maybe some other elements that are part of your brand. So the first thing you need to consider is what type of presentation or what kind of template are you creating. So is it a one-off presentation? Is it something that's going to be used by the entire organization? Is it something that is only going to be used within a certain group or division in the organization, and perhaps there are several templates that need to be created for the different divisions in an organization? Or perhaps you're even creating a template that is done in PowerPoint but not in the typical landscape fashion, but portraits. So it might be for reports, for example. So that's something else that you need to consider. Think about the function of that template, who's going to be using it, what the purpose of those templates or the ultimate presentation is, and also think about how you normally use your presentations. Are you someone that presents lots of text? Are you someone that has to present lots of data? So it will really depend on, what kind of templates you have will really depend on the type of information that you deliver. So the next thing to consider is what type of slides you need. So typically you would have things like a cover slide, so front cover. You might have a couple of options. You might have one that's just got like a solid color. You might have one that allows for an image. Then you might have an agenda slide, some divider slides. So divider slides are used to split up your presentation, for example, into different sections or chapters. And they might also be a solid color, or they might allow for an image. Then you've got your content slides, and then you may also want to include a final slide, whether it's a slide that has like a call to action, or maybe it's just your contact details. So they're things that you would use on a regular basis. The next thing to consider is whether you have brand guidelines, because the brand guidelines will really determine in a sense what the template will look like. So the brand guidelines will guide you through that design process. They should have information in regards to the fonts that you need to be using, the color palette, so you can go in and set up the color palette in accordance to the information that's provided in the brand guidelines. It may also have information in regards to the type of photography that you can use, or the shapes that you can use. So there might be some proprietary shapes that you are able to use. They might be vectors, for example, that can be adapted and moved around, and that will form part of that template design. And the fourth tip is think about, which I mentioned earlier as well, but think about the typical pattern of presentations that you produce. Is there a consistent pattern? And if there is, how can you incorporate that into your template, just to save you time? Because ultimately, if you're not having to recreate something that you use all the time, then it will save you hours. So really, that's something to consider. That's really quite important. So to sum up, I think that templates are crucial for anyone that is producing presentations on a day-to-day basis. If you're working for an organization, you want to project the right image. There are so many instances where we receive presentations to be redesigned where there is actually no template. There are no masters sitting in the background. It's just a blank slate, like completely blank. There is absolutely nothing, and really what that means is that the person that is sitting down doing that presentation has to create it every single time. It's just, and it will always end up looking different to the previous time. So think about that the template will help you with consistency, and it's a huge time saver. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing to our channel. Give us a big thumbs up. Consider sharing the video as well with some of your colleagues, and if you'd like to leave a message, please do so in the comments box below. If you've got any suggestions for future videos, then we welcome those as well. Thank you for watching.